Welcome back to the Toffee Booze, your source for all things Everton. I'm Ollie Hayes, and today I'm bringing you my extra time thoughts for Everton 2, Crystal Palace 1 at Goodison Park. So, yeah, it was a game of 2 halves, really, wasn't it? It was a tale of 2 halves, a first half that was very poor and a second half that was much improved. But I'll start with my first half thoughts initially. I thought we were very poor. I think we were lucky not to concede two or three in that first half. Sloppy defending for their first goal, way too easy for Mark Gay to get in front of the defender and slot it past Jordan Pickford. And I think it was, for me, it felt like same old story. It felt like a goal that we've conceded far too many times this season. And, set pieces are really, undoing us a lot this season. You've seen so many times where we've conceded them and Saturday was no exception to that. So, to go behind so early and in a game where it felt like it was a must win, it was a game where we needed 3 points. To go behind so early, I was really worried, and the performance didn't really kickstart after that. It didn't really spark us into life. It didn't spark a reaction. We kind of carried on same old in that first half, and we didn't really make any impact going forward. No real chances apart from that Dominic Calvert-Lewin one, which flashed across the face of goal, and he was unlucky not to put it away with a good cross from Dwight Mcneil. But I felt like we lacked a structure and we lacked an identity in that first half going forward. We didn't really have any passes to play. We didn't really put any nice moves together. It felt very much like it was very one-dimensional, trying to find Dominic Calvert-Lewin as that big target man, and not really trying to build up and play good football or nice football. It did feel very one-dimensional. So I wasn't surprised that we went in at half-time, losing, because we didn't look like scoring in that first half. As I said, the only really meaningful chance that we created was the Dominic Calvert-Lewin one, which he didn't really get anywhere near. So I think at halftime I was thinking, it's just the same old story here, isn't it? Staring another defeat in the face against a bang average side, in my opinion. I didn't think Crystal Palace were anything special. You hear talk of the likes of Eberechi Eze. He was meant to massively control the game. I don't think he was too good. I think he's a decent talent, and as is Adam Wharton in that midfield. They do have a very solid midfield, Crystal Palace. But there was a lot of talk pre-game about John-Philippe Mateta and how he would cope against James Tarkowski and obviously the returning Jared Branthwaite. And I didn't think he was too good. So as I said before, I didn't think they were anything special, Crystal Palace. So going in at half time against a bang average side, in my opinion, I was very disappointed. And a game that, in that first 20 minutes, I thought they were there for the taking. We could have got at them, but they controlled all the ball, and we lacked that belief to try and get at them in that first half. So as I said before, my half-time thoughts were, same old story, a game that we should be getting something from, but unfortunately we're behind. And can we spark a reaction and get back into the game? I wasn't so sure at half-time. Obviously, as I said before, it's we've not done it many times, and I think in Sean Dyche's tenure, we've only come from behind once or twice. So I wasn't hopeful at half-time, and I was, just praying that we could try and come out and spark a reaction. And that's actually what we did in that second half. I thought we were much improved in the first few minutes of that second half. Obviously, pouncing on a loose Daichi Kamada ball, Ashley Young, another assist for him, and he passed it to Dwight Mcneil, who found it finished so well into that far corner past Dean Henderson. The keeper had no chance of getting near that one. So I was really happy. It completely changed that game. And as I said before, what a goal from Dwight Mcneil. He is probably the one player in the team that can pull out a finish like that and pull out a screamer when we really need it. And obviously we needed it at that point. So to pull out that goal, we massively needed it. And the game's level at that point. I'm positive. I'm thinking, right, okay, a bang average Crystal Palace team. We've managed to get ourselves level after not playing well. This is sort of the characteristics of a Sean Dyche team. It's not playing well, but grinding results out, grinding 3 points, grinding, points here and there. And, to get back into the game with a screamer like that, I was really positive at that point and hoping that we could get another one. And that's exactly what we did. Another goal in quick succession by Dwight Mcneil, making it 2-1. Great finish at the back post. I think Eddie Nketiah had just got his foot to it, but it did fall into the path of Dwight Mcneil, who finished very, very smartly. And I was really pleased to see him get on the score sheet twice, because him playing in that central role, I think goals and assists are quite big for his confidence. And I think he said he's been on the record saying that he feels like he can affect games more by playing centrally, by playing behind the striker in that sort of Abdoulaye Doucouré role, which Sean Dyche has coined in his tenure here. So I think it was really positive to see Dwight Mcneil get on the score sheet twice and just affecting the game as he wants to do from that central area. And it was a good finish, as I said before. It took quick reactions. It took a quick reaction to get in behind and score that goal. So once we were 2-1 up, I was really positive, hoping that we would try and press for a third, but we did kind of recede back into our old ways of, protecting that lead once we've got it. And that is fine. I don't mind that. Just grind out points and grind out results. But you have to be defensively solid. And I think the return of Jared Branthwaite made that so much easier for the defensive line. I felt like obviously Mikalenko and Branthwaite coming back in at the weekend. The fact that they were back, I felt so much more safe than comparing them to Ashley Young and Michael Keane on that left hand side. And that's no disrespect to them. They obviously are, valuable players in their own right to this squad. Ashley Young had a very decent game in my opinion on Saturday, but Jared Branthwaite being back in that side, and also Vitaly Mikalenko, they are just worlds apart in terms of defensive solidity. So it was great to see them back. And as I said before, our game plan, once we did go 2-1 up, our game plan did kind of switch to go back into that, defensively solid, try and grind out a result and not really, affect the game going forward. We didn't really go forward, create many chances after that. And I think I can think of probably one where it was a Dominic Calvert-Lewin header right at the back post from a corner. I think that's probably our biggest chance after the two goals from Dwight Mcneil, but that's fine. As I said before, if you keep defensively solid, and I maybe would have liked to see us trying a little bit more and try and kill the game and get a third. But as I said before, if that's your way of playing, if that's the way you want to play, that's fair enough. But as long as you get the results, that's fine. But we held firm and managed to get the 3 points and see out the victory and beat Crystal Palace 2-1, which I think does massive things for the morale of the club. Does massive things for the morale of the squad and also the fan base as well, because we've been quite down recently in terms of results. Obviously, going to Aston Villa, going to Leicester, coming away with a point, and then obviously a pretty disappointing loss at Aston Villa. I know they're a top side, but going to those two places and coming away with only 1 point, I think in hindsight we were very disappointed as a fan base. So I think it was very good to see that we were, going into the game and also coming out of the game with a smile on our faces, with a spring in our step, and happy that we've got the 3 points. But my standout players with obviously Jared Branthwaite coming back into the side. I thought he was fantastic, but also Iliman Ndiaye. I thought he was absolutely brilliant on the ball. I remember one point, he just dropped his shoulder. I remember I started laughing just before he'd even beat the man, because in my head I knew exactly what he was going to do, but the defender probably also knew what he was going to do, but beat him anyway. And I think that's just the mark of the man. That's just the type of player he is. I think he's just got that in his locker, and he's just an absolutely fantastic player. So hopefully there's more to come from him, and fingers crossed Jared Branthwaite can put a run in the team together now and hopefully boost us up the league, because obviously, the first 3 points of the season, it does lift us out of the relegation zone. I think we are in 16th now after Ipswich's draw against Aston Villa yesterday. So, that's something to build on. Hopefully we can use it as a springboard. It's our first win of the season. Hopefully we build on it and go to, our next few games, and just fingers crossed we can try and put a run together. Obviously, Newcastle come to Goodison on Saturday. That's going to be a tough game. And then it's away to newly promoted Ipswich after that, after the international break. So two huge games. Fingers crossed we can get results in them. But does this bail Sean Dyche out? I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, the game plan did work in the end. That first half, I think if you're a big fan of Sean Dyche or you want Sean Dyche out of the club, I think everyone can agree that was not good enough that first half. And a quality team, if they come to Goodison and we play like that in the first half, we could be 3-4-0 down and the game could be gone by that point. So I think everyone will agree that the first half was not good enough, but the reaction and the way we played in the second half was much improved, and it was a really good performance in that second half to get the two goals and build on it and hold firm and get the result. I think no one can deny that that's a positive thing. And as I said before, hopefully we can use it as a springboard to push on. But as I asked the question before, does it bail Sean Dyche out? I don't think completely. I think that it will be taken on a game by game basis. And if Newcastle rock up to Goodison at the weekend and absolutely batter us, I think questions will be asked again. And if we go to Ipswich and don't get the desired result again, I think questions will be asked. But let's just enjoy it. It's 3 points. It's our first 3 points of the season. Let's hope we can use it as a springboard and go into the next two games and get positive results. But that is all from my thoughts for today, for the Everton 2, Crystal Palace 1 result. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about the victory, and I'll speak to you soon.